I'm Birgit O'Connor, and welcome to my garden. Today I'd like to show you how I paint roses. I'll be working on a sheet of 22 by 30 cold press paper. Today I'd like to first of all start off with a demonstration of just a small section of the rose. It'll be more of an abstracted shape that'll help you to understand how to create depth and drama before I go ahead and apply it to an entire painting. So then when we work on the painting, I've chosen a Sally Holmes rose. That's a single petaled rose, and I'll show you how to create buds, leaves, and then perhaps maybe we might even work on some other roses. So let's go into the studio and let's get started. So now I have to add one of the most important parts. I'm going to create some shadows. I'm going to take my brush full of water and just go along the edge of the petals. Then I'll use the same color combination of French ultramarine blue and burnt umber in a darker value, meaning less water, and go along my petals. And I'm actually trying to get more of a nice dry line. I don't want this fuzzy line. Then I'm going to bring my brush stroke up along the edge of the wet and dry area. And by already having that water down, it makes it easier for me to pull up that pigment. And as I get a little closer to the top, I want to start integrating a lighter value, meaning only adding clean water. And for any excess water I might have, I can easily lift that out with the tip of my brush. I'm going to mix the quinacridone magenta with the Naples yellow so I have a nice blush color. Then I'll go along the inside edge of the center of the flower to help give it the appearance of rolling under the next petal. You can already see how the color is starting to change the appearance of the flower. I decided I wanted to variegate more of the color, so I'm going to add more quinacridone magenta to the Naples yellow. And since my surface is still wet, the colors can blend easily into each other. You might be thinking that this is a pretty bold approach, especially when it was so nice and light and delicate. My intention is not to change that, only to create more depth. Remember, I can always use my clean brush to help smooth and blend any of the uneven pigment. This color by itself doesn't really seem to make sense. It stands out. That's why, again, I need to work the overall painting. Now, when applying your pigment, remember that you have to move fairly quickly. Otherwise, you can be left with unwanted brushstroke marks. I know this application of color can seem a little uncomfortable and daring, but again, experiment. This is actually going to be pretty forgiving because I'm really working on only applying shading. I'm going to get a little permanent sap green, a little yellow ochre, and maybe a little French ultramarine blue. Then I'll take my color and go along the inside edge of the stem and allow the color to blend out into the center. This may not really look like much, But if I want to, I can variegate the color, and that'll help make it look a little more natural. Remember, to help blend your colors, lift your paper up and move it around. And see this center line? This is going to be my highlighted area. And if I have too much water on my stem, I can use my clean brush and lift it out. You can see how this is already starting to get some shape. Let's say I wanted to make some thorns. I have a couple of options. I can create 2 lines and fill them in, or I can simply manipulate my brush stroke. I know that this stem is much larger than the one that you would use for a painting, but it really helps to give you a good idea of how to create it.